Hello, everybody. I hope you are having a good weekend so far. Well, I guess it's still technically the week when you're watching this, but we're going to go ahead and get started. So, today we are talking about Jamaica Kincaid's Girl. This is a poem. So, we are entering into our section on literary analysis. So, this is a piece that you can pick to work on for your literary analysis. It's quite short, but it has a lot to say about society, expectations, gender norms. And if you wanted to look into some of Jamaica Kincaid's other works to kind of go along with it, that could be a good idea for a paper as well. Just a little bit of information about the author. You do not have to know biographical information about your authors, but this might be something that you could work into your paper. It could inform your analysis. So, biographical information, while it doesn't replace analysis, it can add to it. Let's go forward. So she was born Elaine Potter Richardson in 1945 in St. John's, Antigua. So she is a Caribbean American. She moved to New York when she was just 16 years old and took on the pseudonym of Jamaica Kincaid when she was writing in 1973. She initially would write smaller pieces for the New Yorker before she officially became staff. And she wrote about a lot of different things, but mainly about her own personal lived experience. So, life in the Caribbean, her family relationships, and also the effects of colonialism. Um, we don't have time to go over this in this class, but in her she has a part of her essay in a small place, which was published in 1988. And it talks about tourism and vacationing in these Caribbean areas and in other areas around the world as a further exploitation of colonialism. Highly recommend reading anything from that collection of essays. She also has the work At the Bottom of the River. This is a collection, and we are going to be listening to one of the poems that she wrote for this collection. She also has these other works, the autobiography of my mother, my brother, Among the Flowers, A Walk in the Himalaya. She also had a column that she wrote, and up until just this past year, in spring of 2024, she actually taught her last class, but she was a professor emeritus at Harvard University. So, very well known author, publisher, and English professor and writing professor. So, there's a lot we can learn from Jamaica Kincaid, and hopefully, she is enjoying her well deserved retirement now. Next, we're going to watch her actually reading her piece Girl from At the Bottom of the River. And this is on YouTube. I will post this presentation and the link to this as well on Blackboard so that you guys have access to this.
It's called Girl, and it goes like this. Wash the white clothes on Monday and put them on the stone heap. Wash the color clothes on Tuesday and put them on the clothesline to dry. Don't walk barehead in the hot sun. Cook pumpkin fritters in very hot, sweet oil. Soak your little cloths right after you take them off. When buying cotton to make yourself a nice blouse, be sure that it doesn't have gum on it, because that way it won't hold up well after a wash. Soak saltfish overnight before you cook it. Is it true that you sing Benna in Sunday school? Always eat your food in such a way that it won't turn someone else's stomach. On Sundays, try to walk like a lady and not like the slut you are so bent on becoming. Don't sing Benna in Sunday school. You mustn't speak to wharf rat boys, not even to give directions. Don't eat fruits on the street. Flies will follow you. But I don't sing Benner on Sundays at all, and never in Sunday school. This is how to sew on a button. This is how to make a buttonhole for the button you have just sewed on. This is how to hem a dress when you see the hem coming down, and so to prevent yourself from looking like the slut I know you are so bent on becoming. This is how you iron your father's khaki shirt so that it doesn't have a crease. This is how you iron your father's khaki pants so that they don't have a crease. This is how you grow okra far from the house, because okra tree harbors red ants. When you are growing dasheen, make sure it gets plenty of water, or else it makes your throat itch when you are eating it. This is how you sweep a corner. This is how you sweep a whole house. This is how you sweep a yard. This is how you smile to someone you don't like too much. This is how you smile to someone you don't like at all. This is how you smile to someone you like completely. This is how you set a table for tea. This is how you set a table for dinner. This is how you set a table for dinner with an important guest. This is how you set a table for lunch. This is how you set a table for breakfast. This is how to behave in the presence of men who don't know you very well, and this way they won't recognize immediately the slut I have warned you against becoming. Be sure to wash every day, even if it is with your own spit. Don't squat down to play marbles. You are not a boy, you know. Don't pick people's flowers. You might catch something. Don't throw stones at blackbirds because it might not be a blackbird at all. This is how to make a bread pudding. This is how to make dukuna. This is how to make pepper pot. This is how to make a good medicine for a cold. This is how to make a good medicine to throw away a child before it even becomes a child. This is how to catch a fish. This is how to throw back a fish you don't like. And that way, something bad won't fall on you. This is how to bully a man. This is how a man bullies you. This is how to love a man. And if this doesn't work, there are other ways. And if they don't work, don't feel too bad about giving up. This is how to spit up in the air if you feel like it. And this is how to move quick so that it doesn't fall on you. This is how to make ends meet. Always squeeze bread to make sure it's fresh. But what if the baker won't let me feel the bread? You mean to say that after all, you're really going to be the kind of woman who the baker won't let near the bread?
And just
I
to
wanted to
clarify,
write,
so sorry, guys. But yeah, she has a lot of great videos that you guys have access to where you can see her actually talking about her work. But that is to say, one thing I wanted to clarify was it in the closed captioning it said better songs. She was saying Benna songs, so that is an Antiguan folk song, and this comes as a tradition after the abolition of slavery. And these songs could sometimes have suggestive language in them, talk about things sexual or explicit in nature, or be gossipy. So this was not something that her mother would have wanted her to sing on Sundays, especially not in Sunday school. Um, so what you're going to do is I have a discussion question posted on Blackboard having to do with gender in this term. So in Jamaica Kincaid's Girl, she has presumably a mother talking to a daughter and putting on her all these expectations that she has. Everything from how to do things at home to how you interact with certain people, who not to interact with, and repeatedly warning against, as she says, the slut you are so bent on becoming. So a lot of those expectations are things that were internalized by Jamaica Kincaid, and that's kind of her lived experience. So the question that I have for you guys, I'll ask you to consider um, those expectations, how those might have been placed on you as your gender. I would love to see um what the boy version of this would be if there was a poem entitled Boy and what the instructions would be. So that could be maybe a fun creative thing for you guys to do in there. In fact, I might put that as an option for the discussion post instead of answering the question. That's what I'm going to do. Um, Maybe do a little creative piece from your own perspective or your own lived experience. And also thinking about how these societal expectations are still being placed on people. And this is something, again, if this is something that interests you, this could be something that you could pursue in your own work as you approach your literary analysis. As usual, if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to email me. And if you guys are having trouble coming up with a topic for the literary analysis, you're also welcome to come and conference with me and we can kind of see what interests you, look at some of the readings we have coming up, and talk about some different ideas. Everybody have a great weekend. I'll see you guys later.